The void between stars held its breath as the UES Discovery glided through the darkness, its sensors probing the unknown reaches of the Carina Nebula. Commander Sarah Chen stood at the bridge's observation window, her dark eyes reflecting the distant purple-tinged gases that stretched across the view. After 18 months of deep space exploration, her crew had mapped dozens of systems without finding a single sign of intelligent life. Today would change everything. Commander, multiple contacts detected at bearing 340. Lieutenant Rodriguez announced from his station, his voice steady despite the tension crackling through the bridge. Configuration unknown, but they're definitely artificial. Chen straightened her uniform and turned to face the main tactical display. Show me. The holographic projection flickered to life, revealing 3 sleek vessels emerging from the nebula's swirling clouds. Their hulls gleamed with an otherworldly iridescence, seamlessly curved like liquid metal frozen in space. They moved with an elegance that suggested propulsion technology far beyond humanity's current understanding. Open all channels, Chen ordered. Standard first contact protocols. Her heart thundered in her chest, but years of training kept her voice calm. Humanity's first encounter with an alien civilization would define their species' future. The alien vessels arranged themselves in a triangular formation, their unusual design making it impossible to determine weapon placements or defensive capabilities. Minutes stretched like hours as the Discovery's communications array broadcast greeting messages in every conceivable format. "Commander, they're scanning us," reported Dr. Emily Shaw from the science station. "Their sensor technology is incredible. They're analyzing our entire ship down to the molecular level." A harsh tone cut through the bridge's atmosphere, making several crew members wince. The tactical display transformed, showing a being that defied human expectations. The alien had no discernible head or limbs, instead appearing as a shifting mass of crystalline structures that pulsed with internal light. "I am Nexus Voice of the Vanguard Collective," the translation matrix rendered in slightly metallic tones. "Your presence in protected space is noted. Explain your purpose." Chen stepped forward. "I am Commander Sarah Chen of the United Earth Ship Discovery. We are peaceful explorers seeking knowledge and contact with other intelligent species." The crystalline form rippled, its light patterns shifting to deeper hues. "Scans indicate primitive technological development. Your species is unknown to the collective. This sector falls under Vanguard protection. Departure is recommended." "We respect your authority in this region," Chen replied carefully. "However, we hope to establish diplomatic relations and learn from." "Your scanning equipment suggests resource exploitation intentions," the Nexus Voice interrupted. "Primitive species often disguise conquest as exploration." Chen felt the situation slipping away. "I assure you, our scanners are standard scientific equipment. We have no hostile." "Unacceptable." The alien's form pulsed with angry red light. "The collective has observed this pattern before. Primitive species must be contained before they become threats." Without warning, the alien vessel's hulls transformed, portions flowing like quicksilver to reveal weapon ports. Energy readings spiked across the Discovery sensors. "Shields up," Chen ordered. "Evasive maneuvers." The first shot crossed the void before the Discovery could complete its defensive preparations. The blast of coherent energy struck the research vessel's port side, burning through the outer hull like paper. Warning klaxons screamed as secondary explosions rippled through the ship. "Direct hit to engineering," Rodriguez shouted over the chaos. "Main power failing." Chen slammed her palm on the ship-wide comm. "All hands, abandon ship. This is not a drill." She turned to her communications officer. "Send an emergency transmission to Earth Command. They need to know what we found." The Discovery's hull groaned as another blast tore through its midsection. Escape pods launched from their bays, carrying terrified crew members into the void. Chen remained on the bridge, working with the few officers who stayed to ensure the transmission would reach Earth. Message coded and sent. Lieutenant Park confirmed. blood trickling from a cut on his forehead. "But, Commander, they're targeting the escape pods." Chen watched in horror as brilliant beams of energy reached out to the fleeing pods, methodically destroying them one by one. The Vanguard ships moved with mechanical precision, ensuring no survivors would carry tales of their encounter. "They're not just containing us," Chen realized aloud, her voice bitter. "They're exterminating us, because we're primitive." The bridge shuddered as another hit landed. Through the failing view screen, Chen could see the Vanguard vessels positioning themselves for a final strike. In her last moments, she activated her personal recorder, knowing it would be found in the wreckage. "To whoever finds this, the Vanguard Collective considers humanity a primitive threat to be eliminated. They strike without mercy or negotiation. Earth must prepare. We are not alone in the universe, and what awaits us is not peace." The Discovery's final moments were marked by a brilliant flash that briefly outshone the nebula's ancient light. Of the 87 crew members aboard, none survived to tell their story in person. But their final warning reached Earth, carrying with it humanity's first brutal lesson about their place in the galaxy. In the chambers of the United Earth government, leaders watched the Discovery's last transmission with grim faces. Admiral James Torres, his dark features illuminated by the holographic playback, turned to address the assembly. "They thought us primitive," he said, his voice hard with determination. "They believed us weak. The Vanguard Collective will learn that humanity's greatest strength has always been proving our enemies wrong." Across Earth's orbital shipyards, engineers and scientists began working on something unprecedented. If the galaxy wanted war with humanity, they would learn just how dangerous a primitive species could become. 6 months after the Discovery's destruction, Earth's orbital shipyards hummed with unprecedented activity. Hidden beneath massive stealth fields, Project Titan represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, and perhaps its last hope for survival. Dr. Arya Patel stood before the curved window of her lab, watching construction drones swarm around the massive vessel taking shape in the void. The UES Titan dwarfed every other ship humanity had ever built, its dark hull absorbing light rather than reflecting it. But size wasn't what made the Titan special. It was what lay within. "The quantum core is stabilizing," her assistant, Dr. Marcus Wong, reported from his station. "Field coherence at 98% and holding." He looked up, dark circles under his eyes betraying months of sleepless nights. "We might actually pull this off." Arya allowed herself a small smile. The quantum core was her life's work, a revolutionary power system that harnessed the fundamental forces of reality itself. The Vanguard thought humanity primitive. They would never expect a lesser species to master technology that could bend space-time to its will. "Admiral Torres has arrived for the briefing," the lab's AI announced. Moments later, the Admiral strode through the doors, accompanied by Captain Maya Zhao, the officer chosen to command the Titan. "Dr. Patel," Torres greeted, his voice carrying the weight of humanity's survival. "Tell me you have good news." Arya gestured to the holographic display dominating the center of the lab. "The quantum core exceeds all theoretical projections. We've achieved power levels that would have seemed impossible a year ago." The display showed a complex web of energy patterns flowing through the Titan's systems. But raw power isn't what makes this ship special. She manipulated the controls, highlighting different sections of the massive vessel. The Titan isn't just a warship. It's a testament to human ingenuity. Every system represents a breakthrough in physics, engineering, or both. Captain Zhao stepped closer to the display, her cybernetic eye whirring as it analyzed the data. "Walk me through the offensive capabilities. When the Vanguard comes for Earth, I need to know exactly what I'm fighting with." Arya nodded, bringing up detailed schematics. "The primary weapon system is what we call the Reality Lance. It uses the quantum core's power to create localized disruptions in spacetime. When focused on a target, it can literally tear apart the bonds holding matter together. A weapon that bypasses shields entirely," Torres mused, "because it attacks the fundamental nature of reality itself." "Exactly. But that's just the beginning. Area highlighted another system. The quantum shields operate on similar principles, creating pocket universes that absorb enemy fire. The more energy thrown at them, the stronger they become. And the drive system. She paused, pride evident in her voice. The drive system can fold space around the ship, allowing for maneuvers that would be physically impossible for any conventional vessel. The Vanguard's targeting systems won't be able to predict our movements because we'll be breaking their understanding of physics. Captain Zhao's organic eye narrowed. You're telling me this ship can bend reality itself? The power requirements must be astronomical. They are, Dr. Wong confirmed. That's why we needed the quantum core. Traditional power systems couldn't generate a fraction of what we needed. Admiral Torres walked to the window, watching the construction drones work. How long until the Titan is ready for launch? 3 weeks, Area replied. We're in the final testing phase now. Every system has to be perfect. At these power levels, even a small miscalculation could be catastrophic. We may not have 3 weeks. Torres turned back to face them, his expression grim. Long-range sensors detected a Vanguard fleet entering the solar system. They'll reach Mars orbit in 10 days. Silence fell over the lab as the implications sank in. Humanity's greatest achievement was in a race against time. Then we'll have to work faster, Captain Zhao stated firmly. Dr. Patel, what do you need to accelerate the timeline? Area's mind raced through calculations and contingencies. We can compress some of the testing protocols, run simultaneous system checks instead of sequential ones. It's risky, but everything about this is risky. Torres interrupted. The Vanguard thinks they're coming to exterminate a primitive species. Instead, they're going to face the most advanced warship ever created. Make it happen, Doctor. Over the next week, the orbital shipyard transformed into a hive of desperate activity. Engineers and scientists worked around the clock, pushing themselves to the limit. The Titan's systems came online one by one, each success bringing humanity closer to survival. Area barely slept, moving from one critical system to another. The quantum core's song, a deep thrumming that seemed to resonate with reality itself, became the soundtrack to their frantic preparations. Every hour brought new challenges, new problems to solve. Finally, 8 days after Torres's warning, Area stood on the Titan's bridge with Captain Zhao. Through the main viewport, Earth hung like a blue jewel against the black of space. Somewhere out there, the Vanguard fleet approached, still confident in their superiority. All systems are operational, Area reported, checking the final diagnostics. The quantum core is stable, all weapons are functional, and the reality drives are responding normally. She's as ready as she'll ever be. Zhao settled into the command chair, her posture radiating quiet confidence. Then it's time to show the galaxy what humanity can do. Dr. Patel, you should return to the station. We launch in 30 minutes. Area hesitated. Captain, this ship represents theoretical technology pushed to its absolute limits. There are countless things that could go wrong. That's true of everything humanity has ever achieved, Zhao replied with a slight smile. We've always pushed limits, broken barriers, done the impossible. It's what makes us human. As Area prepared to leave, she took one last look at the bridge crew, men and women chosen to operate technology that rewrote the rules of physics. They showed no fear, only determination. The Vanguard thought humanity primitive, but they would soon learn that underestimating human potential was a fatal mistake. The Titan would teach them that lesson, written in fire across the stars. The UES Titan hung motionless in Neptune's shadow, its dark hull invisible against the void. Captain Zhao stood at the tactical display, studying the approaching Vanguard fleet. 27 ships, each one representing technology that had seemed godlike just months ago. Now they would learn what humanity was truly capable of. All hands, battle stations, she ordered, her voice carrying to every corner of the massive ship. This is what we've trained for. The Vanguard thinks they're hunting primitive prey. Let's show them how wrong they are. The bridge crew worked with focused precision, bringing the Titan's revolutionary systems online. The quantum core's deep resonance built to a crescendo that seemed to vibrate through reality itself. Vanguard fleet holding position near Triton. Lieutenant Santos reported from Tactical. They're launching scout craft. Standard search pattern. He paused, checking his readings. They haven't detected us yet. The quantum stealth field is working perfectly. Zhao nodded, a predatory smile touching her lips. Let them come a little closer. Lieutenant Chen, status of the reality lance. Charged and ready, Captain. Target solutions plotted for all Vanguard vessels. The minutes stretched as the alien ships moved closer, their crystalline hulls refracting the distant sunlight. They were beautiful in their own way, Zhao thought. Beautiful and arrogant, never imagining that their prey might strike first. Enemy vessels entering optimal range, Santos announced. They're beginning to spread out for a systematic sweep of the sector. Perfect. Zhao straightened in her command chair. Launch primary countermeasure package. Across the Titan's hull, specially designed pods erupted into space. Each contained a quantum signature beacon programmed to mimic a human warship. To the Vanguard sensors, it would appear as if an entire fleet had suddenly materialized around them. The reaction was immediate. The Vanguard ships snapped into combat formation, their weapon ports flowing open like liquid metal. Energy readings spiked as they prepared to engage what they thought was a conventional human battle group. They're targeting the decoys, Chen reported. Weapons charging. They're firing. Brilliant beams of coherent energy lashed out at the Phantom ships, passing harmlessly through the sophisticated holograms. Confusion rippled through the Vanguard formation as their sensors struggled to understand why their attacks had no effect. Now, Zhao commanded, bring us about. Reality Lance. Target their flagship. The Titan emerged from Neptune's shadow like an avenging god, its massive form seeming to drink in the starlight. The quantum core's power surged through specialized conduits, focusing into the reality lance mounted in the ship's prow. Space itself screamed as the weapon fired. A beam of concentrated quantum disruption struck the Vanguard flagship, bypassing its supposedly impenetrable shields completely. Where the beam touched, matter simply ceased to exist, leaving perfectly spherical holes through the alien vessel's hull. Direct hit, Santos called out. Enemy flagship reporting catastrophic systems failure. Their hull integrity is. It's just coming apart at the molecular level. The Vanguard fleet reacted with shocking speed, their formation shifting to bring weapons to bear on the Titan. But Zhao was already moving, utilizing the reality-bending capabilities of the quantum drive. Execute maneuver pattern Omega, she ordered. Show them what this ship can do. The Titan seemed to fold in on itself, disappearing from normal space only to reappear simultaneously at 3 different locations. The Vanguard's targeting systems, designed to predict movement based on conventional physics, went haywire trying to track a ship that could literally be in multiple places at once. Enemy vessels firing. Multiple beams of destructive energy converged on the Titan's position, or rather, positions. The quantum shields flared into existence, creating localized bubbles of altered spacetime that absorbed the attacks and grew stronger with each hit. Shields holding at 120% capacity, Chen reported, amazement in her voice. The more they hit us, the more power we have to work with. Zhao allowed herself a grim smile. Return fire. All weapon systems. Let's show them what primitive looks like. The Titan unleashed its full arsenal. Reality lances carved impossible holes through Vanguard ships. Quantum torpedoes created miniature black holes that swallowed enemy vessels whole. Conventional energy weapons, powered by the seemingly limitless quantum core, overwhelmed shields designed to withstand much weaker attacks. In the space of 10 minutes, the battle had transformed from an extermination mission into a desperate fight for survival. For the Vanguard, their formation broke apart as ships tried to retreat, their confident superiority shattered by weapons that defied their understanding of physics. Enemy fleet at 40% strength, Santos reported. They're attempting to regroup beyond Triton's orbit, reading massive energy spikes. They're preparing to jump to FTL. Let them go, Zhao ordered. They came expecting to find helpless prey. Let them run back to their collective and report what they found instead. The surviving Vanguard ships vanished in flashes of light, leaving their dead and dying behind. On the Titan's bridge, the crew maintained their professional demeanor, but the air hummed with suppressed excitement. They had faced humanity's would-be executioners and emerged triumphant. Send word to Earth Command, Zhao commanded. The Titan's first combat test is complete. All systems performed beyond expectations. She paused, allowing satisfaction to color her tone, and informed them that the Vanguard Collective has received its first lesson in underestimating humanity. As the message was transmitted, Zhao studied the tactical display showing the aftermath of the battle. The Vanguard had arrived confident in their technological superiority, certain that no primitive species could challenge them. They had learned differently, paid for the lesson in shattered ships and broken certainties. But this was only the beginning. The survivors would report back to their collective, and a real war would begin. Humanity had revealed its new strength, shown that it would not meekly accept extinction. The galaxy was about to learn why challenging humanity's will to survive was a terrible mistake. Deep within the Vanguard Collective's central command nexus, crystalline beings pulsed with agitated light patterns as they reviewed the battle footage from Neptune. The supposedly primitive humans had not only survived their extermination fleet, but had wielded technology that defied their understanding of physics itself. First Voice Illuminator, the highest-ranking member of the Collective's military council, shifted its crystalline form in what passed for agitation among its kind. This cannot be allowed to stand. These humans have concealed their true technological capabilities. They are more dangerous than we anticipated. The survivors report weapons that ignore our shields entirely. Second Voice Strategist added, its light patterns flickering with concern. They have mastered quantum manipulation at a level we thought impossible for organic species. Meanwhile, aboard the UES Titan, Captain Zhao studied intelligence reports from deep space monitoring stations. The Vanguard's response to their defeat was building, just as expected. But something about their movements suggested more than simple retaliation. They're not just gathering ships, she told Admiral Torres during their secure quantum communication. The pattern suggests they're searching for something. Multiple fleets moving in systematic sweeps through supposedly empty sectors. Torres's holographic image nodded grimly. Our deep space probes have detected unusual energy signatures in those regions. Whatever the Vanguard is looking for, they're desperate to find it before we do. Dr. Patel's voice joined the conversation from her research station on Earth. The quantum core's sensors are picking up echoes of ancient technology out there. The same fundamental principles we used to build the reality lance, but orders of magnitude more powerful. Which means the Vanguard's dismissal of primitive species might be more than just arrogance. Zhao concluded. They're hiding something. Perhaps evidence that they're not as advanced as they want the galaxy to believe. The Titan's next series of engagements proved these suspicions correct. As they pushed deeper into Vanguard space, they encountered more signs of ancient quantum technology and more desperate resistance from the collective. During a battle in the Carina Nebula, where the Discovery had first encountered the Vanguard, the Titan's sensors detected something extraordinary. Beneath the swirling gases lay the ruins of a vast installation, its quantum signature matching the Titan's core technology perfectly. It's not Vanguard technology, Dr. Patel reported after analyzing the data. The age readings suggest it's millions of years old. The collective didn't develop quantum manipulation. They found it, just like we did. But while we work to understand it, they've just been copying what they found. The revelation changed everything. The Vanguard's aggressive stance toward primitive species wasn't about protection. It was about maintaining their technological monopoly. They attacked developing civilizations before they could make the same discoveries the collective had stumbled upon. The truth spread quickly through human space, fueling not just anger but determination. Humanity hadn't just developed defenses against the vanguard, they had surpassed them, truly understanding principles the collective only mimicked. As the war progressed, this fundamental difference became increasingly apparent. The Titan led a series of strikes deep into vanguard territory, each engagement demonstrating humanity's growing mastery of quantum technology. While the collective could only use what they had found, humans were innovating, creating new applications for their understanding. They're adapting, Santos reported during one particularly fierce battle, trying to modify their copied technology to counter our advances, but they don't understand the underlying principles well enough to make significant changes. The Titan's crew watched as another vanguard fleet attempted to match their quantum maneuvers, only to have their ships tear themselves apart when they couldn't properly control the space-time distortions they created. But victory was not without cost. The collective, realizing they were losing their technological advantage, became increasingly desperate. They launched attacks on civilian targets, trying to force humanity to divide its forces between offense and defense. They're trying to drag us down to a war of attrition, Admiral Torres told the United Earth Council. They still outnumber us significantly. If we have to defend every colony and outpost, they think they can wear us down. The solution came from an unexpected source. Dr. Wong, studying the ancient installation data, made a breakthrough in quantum field theory. We can extend the Titan's quantum shield technology to cover entire planets, he explained. Create a defensive network that protects our civilians while we take the fight to them. As planetary shields sprang up across human space, the Vanguard's strategy crumbled. Their attacks on civilian targets became exercises in futility, while the Titan and its newly launched sister ships pressed their advantage. The collective's facade of superiority cracked further with each defeat. Intercepted communications revealed growing discord among their leadership. Some voiced the unthinkable, that perhaps they had been wrong about humanity's potential all along. But the greatest discovery was yet to come. As the Titan pushed deeper into Vanguard space, its enhanced sensors detected something that would change the course of the war entirely. Something the collective had hidden away, something they feared more than anything else. Proof that they weren't the first to make this mistake. The coordinates led to a distant system, heavily guarded but holding secrets that would reshape humanity's understanding of their place in the galaxy. As the Titan prepared to jump to this crucial location, Captain Zhao addressed her crew. The Vanguard thought us primitive because they themselves never progressed beyond copying the works of others. We showed them humanity's true strength lies not in what we find, but in what we can create. Now we're about to discover just how many other species they've tried to suppress, and perhaps find some allies in our fight for justice. The quantum core hummed to life, ready to carry humanity's greatest achievement toward its most important discovery yet. The tide hadn't just turned, it had become a tsunami that would sweep away centuries of Vanguard suppression. The coordinates led the Titan to a star system hidden behind a quantum disruption field. As they breached the barrier, the ship's sensors revealed something extraordinary. A massive ring structure orbiting a red dwarf star, its surface covered with the same crystalline architecture it had found in the ancient ruins. But it wasn't abandoned. Ships of various designs and configurations swarmed around the structure, vessels that bore no resemblance to Vanguard technology. Captain Zhao's cybernetic eye whirred as it processed the tactical display. Multiple ships approaching, Santos reported. Their designs match records of vessels destroyed by the Vanguard over the past century. Captain, they're hailing us. The main screen activated, showing a diverse group of alien species. Some were clearly organic, others appeared synthetic, and a few defied easy classification. Their spokesperson, a towering insectoid being, stepped forward. "Welcome, humans," it said, mandibles clicking. "We are the Liberation Conclave, survivors of species the Vanguard tried to erase. We've been watching your resistance with great interest." Zhao stood from her command chair. "I am Captain Maya Zhao of the UES Titan. We've discovered the truth about the Vanguard's stolen technology. As did we, the insectoid being replied. I am first speaker, Sithtal. We represent 17 species who escaped the Vanguard's attempts at genocide. This facility is the source of their quantum technology, built by the precursors millions of years ago. Before they could continue, alarms blared across the Titan's bridge. Multiple quantum signatures detected. Santos called out, "Massive Vanguard fleet incoming." At least 50 capital ships. The crystalline vessels of the collective emerged from quantum space, their formation larger than anything they'd deployed before. The tactical display showed their weapon ports already open, ready to fire. They followed us. Zhao realized. They're making their final stand to protect their secret. First speaker Sithtal's image showed no fear. Then together, we will end their reign of terror. The conclave stands with humanity. The space around the ring structure erupted into the largest battle humanity had ever witnessed. The Titan led the charge, its reality lance carving through Vanguard ships, while its quantum drives allowed it to appear wherever the fighting was thickest. The conclave's vessels demonstrated technologies the Vanguard had never been able to copy, weapons and defenses born from genuine innovation rather than theft. Enemy flagship detected, Chen reported from Tactical. Reading unusual energy signatures. Captain, they're trying to activate something within the ring structure. Dr. Patel's voice cut in through the quantum comm. The facility's power readings are spiking. If they overload the main reactor, the quantum cascade could wipe out the entire system. They'd rather destroy everything than lose control, Zhao said grimly. Sithtal, can your people evacuate the ring? Already underway, the first speaker replied. But we cannot allow them to destroy this place. The precursor facility contains knowledge that could benefit all species. Zhao studied the tactical display, a plan forming. Dr. Patel, could we use the Titan's quantum core to interface with the facility systems? Yes, but we have to be inside the ring's main control center. The Vanguard fleet has that sector heavily guarded. Then we'll give them something else to worry about. Zhao opened a channel to all allied ships. This is Captain Zhao. The Vanguard thinks they can maintain control through fear and destruction. They believe that by erasing the evidence of their deception, they can continue suppressing other species. Let's show them why that was always an illusion. The battle shifted as the Allied fleet executed a coordinated quantum jump, appearing in a sphere around the Vanguard formation. Ships from 17 different species, each demonstrating technology the collective had tried to prevent them from developing, opened fire simultaneously. The Titan used the chaos to slip through the enemy formation, its quantum shields absorbing the few shots that managed to target them. They docked with the ring structure as Vanguard ships began to explode around them. Zhao led a boarding team through the ancient facility, its crystalline corridors humming with power. They fought through Vanguard defenders until they reached the central control chamber, where Dr. Patel's expertise guided them in interfacing with the precursor systems. Connection established, Patel reported. The facility's quantum network is accepting our commands. We can shut down their overload attempt. But the Vanguard had one final surprise. The chamber's main screen activated, showing the first voice illuminator itself. If we cannot maintain order, then chaos must reign, it declared. The primitive species cannot be allowed to upset the balance. The facility's power readings suddenly spiked off the scale. The Vanguard leader had triggered a quantum detonation sequence that couldn't be stopped through normal means. Order built on suppression isn't order at all, Zhao responded. It's just oppression wearing a mask. Humanity proved that progress comes from understanding, not copying. From innovation, not theft. Dr. Patel, execute Protocol Omega. The Titan's quantum core pulsed in harmony with the facility systems. Instead of trying to prevent the detonation, they channeled it, using the combined power to create a quantum gateway larger than any ever attempted. Space itself torn open as the gateway activated. On the other side lay a pocket universe, a safe haven where the detonation's energy could be safely contained. The Vanguard leaders watched in shock as their final weapon was turned against them. "Impossible," the first voice Illuminator proclaimed. "Your species is too primitive to." "We were never primitive," Zhao interrupted. "You just couldn't see past your own arrogance to recognize true potential." The battle ended not with the destruction of the facility, but with its preservation. The surviving Vanguard ships fled, their leadership's lies exposed to the galaxy. The Liberation Conclave emerged from hiding, ready to share their knowledge and technology with other species. In the aftermath, humanity found itself at the center of a new galactic community. The Titans' achievement had not just saved Earth, but had freed countless species from the shadow of Vanguard oppression. They thought they could maintain power by keeping others down, Admiral Torres said during the victory ceremony. Instead, they taught the galaxy its most important lesson. True strength comes not from hoarding knowledge, but from sharing it. Not from suppressing others, but from helping them rise. The precursor facility became a center of learning and cooperation, where species once labeled as primitive worked together to understand the universe's deepest mysteries. And in the stars above, the UES Titan continued to patrol, a reminder that humanity's greatest weapon had never been its technology, but its unwavering spirit of innovation and determination.